Invite Tom. Oh, he's not here.
3,
Alright.
2,
Yeah, ready.
1. You hear the clap? Good
Is this where we
evening.
do our silly things?
No.
Hello.
Uh,
Oh, cut it. Cut it out. Edit it out.
and we're
Dude, wait for your
live.
fucking name to be called.
Oh shit.
And we're live. This is the Four of a Kind podcast. I already fucked it up.
For Pine.
It's Four of a Kind podcast, better known as
It's
Four
for
Oak.
Oak.
Yes, thank you, Kev. That is our lovely co-host, Kevin O'Brien.
You say our name, you get our name right.
All right, and we also are joined by Rick Sherm,
This is number one bullshit.
as well as Anthony Oliver.
That's what you go with.
Heyo!
Oh man, fantastic opener to this, our second recording. We have some great topics this week. We're gonna get right into it. Alright, so we're gonna start with our random bullshit per usual. Ant let us off last week with a great story about menstruation. So we'll see if you can top that this week.
Fabulous.
Ant, the floor is yours, my man.
So, give me I gotta fuck this up already. Give me a minute.
What do you mean give you a minute, dude? We're live.
All
You
right.
think we could just edit this
Should
out?
You want me to go? I can go.
We saved the best for first, Kev. We don't want you there.
Good call. Good call.
I'm just kidding, man. Take it. Ant's off the rails. What do you got for us, Kev?
All right. So, been driving to work, Monday through Friday. Just when I go to work. And I noticed that this bagel
Yep.
store I drive by has been just hopping. Like, the parking lot's completely packed. And the line's out the door every single morning. And I had to figure this out. I had to know why. So I went in the other day. Actually, it was a couple months ago. And this place was crazy. Rick, you would love it specifically. It was like Wall Street. People are just screaming, "Let me get a Poppy with cream cheese and a large cup." Screaming. "I'll take a black coffee, everything. Give me a dozen of everything. I need a plate." Everybody's screaming. And these people behind the counter are just doing work. So I hear a lot of, poppy seeds being called. And I'm like, all right, that sounds like that's the popular choice here. So I order mine. I get a poppy seed bagel with cream cheese and a nice coffee. And it might have been the best bagel I've ever had. Like, just my whole day was spectacular after that. It felt just great. Got all my work done. I felt so good. It was just a great day. So I went back the next, and I just kept going back every day for a good 2 months. And it was just a great 2 months. Every day was phenomenal. Well, after about 2 months at my job, they had a random drug screening. It's like, all right. So I went in, took my piss, and it came back positive. So they sat me down and they're like, you were positive for opioids. Like, what's that about? Do you need to see somebody? Or, your work is fine, but we don't want you to have any problems. And I said, hey, listen, I've been having these poppy seed bagels every day for the past 2 months. That could be it. They're like, all right, well, we're going to give you a 2-week probationary period and come back, take another drug test, and we'll see what happens. So 2 weeks go by, do the drug test, sit back down with HR. They said, Kev, you tested positive again. I said, I'm sorry, I just couldn't kick the bagels. I love them too much. Like, well, all right, but you also tested positive for THC, barbiturates, LSD, and cocaine. So I was like, well, I switched to an everything bagel.
That was a lot better than last week, man. That was a lot better.
Much
I
improved.
got a couple chuckles.
Yeah,
All
legitimate chuckles, man. That was
Mm-hmm.
that was
When they
good.
go up
All
last
right.
week, so
Yeah. So did
All right,
you
so let's end it there.
yeah.
We're on
Mhm.
top.
did
Yeah.
you come
Sorry
up with
about
that
You
that
idea?
figure
fuck
yours
up
out, Ann, or
before.
what?
yeah, I had a problem, so I had to. I'm sorry.
What you do?
I'm back now.
You had to wipe.
It was
Or you didn't wipe?
there was an issue. Yeah,
There's a bloody issue.
it's solved. It's
Back to
solved.
back blood.
Oh,
Ugh, no more
the old
blood.
mark.
No more blood. We're not doing that. So if you're all finished, Kev, there's no we got it all. We don't have to re-record. We're okay.
I haven't been talking about the joke for like 5 minutes now, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and good news is
What?
for those of you that don't know, Kev just put that together in about 20 minutes. Worked it before the show. kicked off.
I did. I really did.
Great work by him.
Thanks, man. That means a lot that you'd say that.
Well, hey, it was a lot better than
Honestly,
last week's,
much better.
Last week's fiasco, whatever the fuck that was.
Shitstorm.
Although the name from it,
That was a solid joke.
yeah, Leslie Kitchener,
Which one?
that will live on.
Leslie Kitchener?
That one, that one's gonna live on, man.
Good.
All right, and are you ready? Are you willing and able?
I think I'm good.
Or are you
think
gonna
I'm good.
blame
I
it
have a-
on me again?
No. I think I'm okay.
Think you're okay?
So
Right.
yeah. So I'll start. I have another story, but it's sort of a what would you do, I guess. So we
Well, that's not a
John
story.
Quinones?
That's a question.
So we
Also, for the record,
recently-
he said, I'll start. This is the second segment. Just
Yeah.
for the record.
Okay. Recently got married.
Remember, I
Recently
don't
went.
know if you remember, but I had to go because you were taking too long.
Yeah, Kev let us
Mhm.
Now
off
it's
this
your
week.
turn.
I
Normally,
remember
you
that.
lead us off every single week that we've ever done this podcast, and you've let us
Yeah,
off
Yeah.
but
for this one now. So.
somebody was unprepared.
Yeah, we were batting 1,000 so
Yep.
far for one fucking episode. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mhm.
So got
Don't like
married.
change, Ant.
Got married. Went on a honeymoon. Went to Jamaica. Obviously, had some sex. And
Congrats.
so
Congrats on
obviously
the
that was most of the thank you. So that was most of the trip. But so there's one point where we're on the beach and we're laying out, and we see them setting up chairs for looks like a destination wedding. Like, oh cool, we'll see a wedding on the beach. So we go in the water. It's we're just hanging out, and they're still setting up. It's probably about an hour away. So I get out of the water. Ash stays in the water. I'm getting some drinks. Come back, and so there we can see people start to file in for the wedding, and family and friends, I guess, and we're watching from the water, and there's other people also around us, and everyone's kind of gathering because everyone's trying to see it, and they're trying to kind of shoot people out of the way, sort of like get out of the shot. They don't want anybody in the frame behind the cameraman and everything. And so in the meantime, Ash and we're messing around, so like we're in the water, but it starts to get a little handsy, and so hands go in my pants, and we're
Wait, your hands or hers?
no, not mine.
So her hands are in your pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
So
wait,
no
so
big deal,
who's
but-
who's the guy
Okay. So
that you said
So
you
her
had
hands
sex
are my-
with? What?
yeah.
Okay.
So her hands were in my pants, and we're messing around, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, there's a wedding occurring about 50 feet away. The cameraman's
That's hella
basically like
romantic.
shooing us out of the way, or making a motion to like finish him off. I couldn't tell, but I'm like, Ash, like the drink girl's gonna come back with our drinks. Like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, I don't know. Figure it out. Finish. I don't know what you want to do. Just what the fuck. Needless to say, I'm The drink girl walks back. People are starting to walk down the aisle. I'm freaking out. There's people 4 feet away from me. So wound up just grabbing my drink, and that was probably the worst ending to a story. So I basically just bitched out, but didn't know what you
Wait,
guys thought or what you would do.
You didn't
No.
spew?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Nope.
The answer
Didn't
to
get to
that
that
is easy.
point.
You come.
Oh
I'm
man.
sorry.
Dude, you
Yeah,
think that's the
that
worst
is-
I
thing
gotta
that
agree.
drink runner's ever seen in Jamaica?
No.
Not a chance.
I gotta agree with you guys. 100% my
Oh.
fault.
I mean, hold
Yeah.
on a second. Is her shoulder like going? Like it's clearly this is
Mhm.
obvious or what?
I thought it was, but she thought no. Like she was like, fine. I mean, no one would have saw anything. And I'm the one that was like, oh fuck, the drink girl's over there. Someone's giving their vows. There's people next to us splashing around. So yeah, completely my fault. But hadn't told you guys about that yet. So figured I'd give you that little Easter egg. But yeah, fucked up on my
That was
part.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have done it. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, she would.
Oh, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Have you guys been in that situation or anything like it? Not necessarily a beach in Jamaica, but
I have been on a
maybe like
beach in
public.
Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I've never been to Jamaica.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
had sex in the Atlantic, for what that's worth.
Atlantic Division. Baseball.
Atlantic
No,
Division
the
in
ocean.
baseball.
The ocean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The ocean.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a weird situation, but like I said,
So
you'll never see that girl ever again, and she's probably
yeah.
so desensitized to that whole situation. I bet you she works at like a hedonism where she just gets splooted on.
Well, good
Isn't
news
that
is we'll all
racist?
be in Mexico soon, so at least 2 of us have to try to recreate that and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
have someone finish.
You and Tom.
No. I want my own story.
Well,
I'm not gonna
listen,
not finish
and
just
I-
for the sake of a story.
You know, you and Ash are married, so I don't want to. You know, that's just weird. For 2 of us to try to recreate that with her, that'd be so weird, man.
Yeah. I was hoping for 2 of the guys, Tom specifically. Shout out Tom.
Just gonna be Tom and us.
Yeah.
Well, that would be hot.
The old Dutch rudder.
All right. That was. I think we got off to
Well,
how we
well,
all
not
would handle that
three of us did.
situation.
hey,
Rick, I know your topic, and I'm gonna go right now instead of you,
Yeah.
so we can
Yeah.
save
I
yours for
prefer
the end.
to finish.
So I got the same rundown as last week. There is no time limit, so we're just gonna go through these. Fantasy football, it is a passion of mine, and a passion of mostly everyone in here. I think 3 out of 4 of us.
No.
I don't know if Ant likes it that much, but
Mhm.
last week I did say some key things that happened came to fruition. So I'm gonna stick to what I know, and we're gonna go through the games here. Thursday night is Denver at Arizona. Broncos are -2.5, over under 42. Broncos defense stinks, and they lost 4 in a row. Case Keenum isn't a Viking, oddly enough. I think they're gonna run the ball. They have to. They have the running backs to do so. And Arizona is the worst run defense in the league. So, I think this will be the start of the Royce Freeman era, even though Phil Lindsay's still there. And on the other side, Christian Kirk has gone over 75 yards in 3 of his last 4 weeks. So that could be a speculative ad. I got the Cards to cover and the under, though. You guys
I will
got-
say I was dead wrong about Case Keenum this year. I thought he would continue what he did last year, even though he isn't a Viking. But
I guess
continue.
he's just a scheme guy. And Broncos are
Stay
mismanaging all their
scheming.
players.
I have literally nothing to say about that game because
Yeah,
it's just garbage.
The next one is kind of similar. I mean, Tennessee's involved. It's Tennessee technically at the Chargers, but it's a London game. So just so you guys know, that game's gonna go off at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So just be aware of that. Um,
I'll grab my crumpets.
Billy Rivers,
Ah,
that
Kevin
man,
Greenfield.
just severely underrated. Weird throwing motion. He's really only behind Drew Brees, Jared Goff, and Mahomes this year as far as quarterbacks go. Melvin Gordon's a stud, 5.1 yards a carry. And then Austin Eckler, he goes for 6.4 a carry. So they are a wagon. And I don't know if Rick's sweating yet, but he does have a wager on the Chargers. So as we get closer to that,
How are they doing?
we will keep an eye on their overall record. They need 12 wins, right, Rick? What was it?
Yeah, so the bet I made with a fellow fantasy football player of ours was that the Chargers are going to have 12 wins on the season.
Oh God.
And,
To answer your question,
I'm
Kev,
not
they're
sweating it yet.
4-2.
Okay.
yeah, they already have half the amount of losses I need them to get, so not ready to go berserk yet.
Now,
I do have a pretty
how would
soft
he
schedule.
feel if you aborted that bet?
Oh man.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh
So
my goodness.
Okay.
Oh.
What's the wager?
I think it's 50.
Okay,
So-
that's not too bad.
Not
Chargers
much of a
are,
breakdown,
Doesn't
minus
but-
give you his
6.5.
firstborn, does he?
They're minus 6.5,
does
over
not
under
do that.
45.5. I got the Chargers to cover, and we're gonna go with the over here. Nothing on the Titans side of the ball. It's just an absolute shit show. Mariota got sacked 11 times last week.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's more than
I'm
10.
gonna
Kev.
say don't sleep on the Titans.
That's like 2
I
ones.
agree. I agree. I just
Don't
don't
sleep on 'em?
think the Chargers are to be fucked with right now.
I'd say Chargers might get 12 this year. Wins, that is.
Duly
Well, I just
noted.
want it to be noted it's a London game, so the air pressure is different, and
Chargers are traveling
Mm,
east.
it's
It'd be a
gonna
different,
affect-
it'd be a different game.
Plus, they don't have fries there. They have chips. So that's also a big deal.
They drive on the wrong side of the road.
They got to walk on the pavement instead of the sidewalk. A lot of things to consider here. Mariota is an island guy.
This is true. And Hawaii, as we know it,
Yes.
has a large
Is
meth epidemic going on. over
sometimes
there.
they call it little England, right?
I thought it was
Like Honolulu is New London.
yeah, no, that's right.
Haven't heard that one.
Oh,
We will go to
maybe open up your ears a little bit.
Buffalo at Indianapolis. Also another fantastic game. Nathan Peterman's out, or I'm sorry, Josh Allen's out, so that means Nathan Peterman is in. They also signed Derek Anderson,
That-
so that's awesome.
I have
Nice.
speculation on that, not to interrupt you, but Derek Anderson's getting the start.
Yeah. I was seeing
Yeah,
they
it
could
is
split.
not Peterman.
Either way, the Colts have been shit pumped last 3 weeks. But they do face this team that is averaging, I think, 12.7 points a game. So it could be a streaming defense. And I don't think either Peterman or Anderson, there's gold mines for turnovers. T.Y. Hilton is going to give his hammy a go this week. So he could see the field. Even though their offense is terrible, the Bills do have a strong defense. So it does pose a tough matchup if he does go. And Eric Ebron's still the guy because Doyle is still out. So another thing I want to add is Marlon Mack. He did see 35% of the snaps last week to Hines 43. But I think he's going to be the guy going forward, and Hines will retain his receiving role. And I got the Colts covering minus 7.5 and the under at 43.5.
So in hindsight, we're gonna go with Mac. Is what you're saying?
I do think so. He went 12 for 89. 12 carries, 89 yards. It's a solid showing. We will go to Carolina at Philly. Eagles are putting it together. I think it's kind of scary being in the NFC East, even though as a Giants fan it doesn't fucking matter anymore. I think Clement is going to be the 1A back. I don't think he's going to be the bell cow. Smallwood's still going to be a receiving role, but I think Clement will take over most of the early down work. And then on the other side, Carolina, you're starting every player. Funchess, Olsen, McCaffrey, Cam. Panthers, my plus 4.5. I'm going to take that. I think they'll cover. I do think they'll cover. Cleveland at Tampa Bay, they are just... Oh, it's not good. Tampa Bay fired Mike Smith, which is fun. The Browns,
Wow.
are they who we thought they were? You know?
I had them under 5.5 wins this year, and
Browns?
I'm happy I took that bet. Yes, under
All
five
right.
and a half.
Alright, that's, that could happen, man.
Old.
But,
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're the third worst offense behind the Bills. The Browns are right now. Behind the Bills and the Cardinals. Bills obviously don't know what the fuck they're doing on offense, and the Cardinals just look at David Johnson, don't do anything with him. Jarvis Landry.
Right.
Oof, man, 9 targets. Huge workload. It's 11 yards. Solid performance. But if there is a week to get it right,
That's the Jarvis Landry way.
I think
There's
that
the most catches in the NFL, but not a lot of production.
this will be the week, though, with the Tampa Bay pass defense being one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. He can right the ship. I don't think Antonio Callaway, his other receiver in that, is worth the ad. And Njoku is a great tight end going forward because he'll get the Bucks, Steelers, the Chiefs, and the Falcons next 4 weeks. Those are all pretty bad pass defenses. And Hyde is losing the backfield, I think. Came out hot last 2 weeks, only 97 yards and a touchdown. And the Bucks' run D is the exact opposite of their pass D. I don't think they've allowed more than 61 yards on the ground this year. Could be a factor of them just getting fucking shithoused in the air, so they don't need to run the ball.
Yeah. Why would they have to
But,
run if they
you
could
know.
just throw?
I think the Bucks cover though, and I will also take the under at 50. Detroit plays the rocket ship in Brocktober. Miami, what a fucking wagon. You got Frank Gore and Brock Osweiler. Oof. Who would have fucking thought it, man?
Hall of Fame?
Oh, dude, it's very frustrating. Imagine being the Drake owner right now and just seeing Frank Gore ruin your life. Gotta
Well,
be
let
off.
it be known in our draft, I actually took Frank Gore in the 17th
This
because
is true.
I was well aware this was going to happen.
Well, that's happening.
The Finns are my team for those out there listening.
Fins
that
up,
didn't
baby.
know That, so
Drake is making it resurgence in the backfield though, because he is the receiving back. It just looks like that Gore is the early down and short yardage guy. I don't think that's gonna change. And
Gore
Yeah.
always looks like he's sticky.
yeah, he's got that real like that skin. It just looks like it's he doesn't sweat, but it's just it's what?
Syrupy.
Oh, okay. All right. Like Aunt Jemima.
wow. I was just going to go with Drake is like the old school conventional home run hitter. You know, he's not like a Tariq Cohen. He's like I need someone else to actually be the change of pace back. You know, like I am only a change of pace back type of guy. And that's kind of being shown out through these first 6 weeks.
Do you think he
Is that
needs
he
a
really needs a bell
workload to
cow.
establish himself?
Drake, no. I think he just, I don't think he's capable of carrying the ball 25 times. And everybody knows it, so.
Including Adam Gase. And as you mentioned, home run hitters.
Correct.
Albert Wilson. That's the guy. Fucking fast. Some people say he's Tyreek Hill light. Well, we'll see what comes of that. And the rocket ship. Although I do have the Lions covering -3. And the over at 47. fun stuff. Houston at Jacksonville. Oh my God. Don't really even want to talk about this. The only thing I will say is Donta Foreman coming back a couple weeks. So lackluster Lamar Miller. Could see, his touches get vultured, and the Jags just can't figure out an offense, and the defense can't do anything to help them out. They got shit pumped by that wagon in Dallas.
I wouldn't say wagon.
No, they're probably the best team in the whole world, and ask Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Does he say that?
Oh, dude, he just
He loves
just
them.
loves the Cowboys. Like he would just.
I don't know why.
But I got the Texans to cover, and the over at 41.5. Minnesota at the Jets. Awesome game. Quincy Nuna, high ankle sprain. Jermaine Kearse should be the guy in the slot for slinging dick Sammy D. Cook, Dalvin Cook, that is. He's going to be back practicing. So we should finally see him, hopefully healthy. And so I would still keep Latavius Murray because that guy just can't stay on the field. And then, I mean, you're starting everyone else you have in Minnesota. I think Adam Thielen, he's proven to be a decent receiver in this league. I don't know if you guys have seen anything he's done lately. Got a couple catches here, a couple
No, I
catches
haven't.
there. He made a name for himself. Jets to cover
What's
minus
his name?
3. Jets are getting 3, sorry, and the over at 46.5. New England at Chicago. Teams heading in opposite directions. Bears got shit pumped by Brocktober. Patriots beat the Chiefs with a huge win. Interesting fact here. Howard's snaps have dropped in 4 straight games. 73%, 62%, 54%, and 51% right as of last week to Tariq Cohen. I think Tariq Cohen just fits Nagy's offense a little better, and Howard is not looking good. Not looking good for him. Tariq Cohen should be the guy going
See,
forward.
I think that's like an anti-Dolphins situation I was kind of alluding to, is that they thought Cohen had to be this he couldn't handle the workload type of back, and he doesn't have to be. And Howard definitely is like a ball of wax. He needs to kind of work his way up to carries, and they just can't get the ball out of Cohen's hands at this point. So
Why would you, right? I mean, the guy has been killing
Yeah,
it. And then Howard also is known to not be a great receiving back. And I feel like in this league, if you're going to be a running back, you got to be able to catch the ball. Like, you see the top guys right now, they all catch the ball out of the backfield. Like, that's where the league is. If you can't catch the ball, especially in fantasy in a PPR format or a one-dimensional back, you're not going to be relevant. Also, Josh Gordon. He got 80% of the snaps to Edelman's 91%, so he's got huge upside going forward, man. He'll be that deep shot for Brady. Hopefully he loosens up the underneath for Gronk. Gronk has just been getting double teamed, and they play him like a, I think the term was like gunners on a punt return. Like they just try everything they can to fuck up his timing and his routes. I do think the Pats, it's weird this game is only the Patriots are -3, which, that seems a little weird to me.
Strange.
Yeah, so I'm still going to take them, -3, and the under at 49. Then we go to New Orleans at
Ugh.
Baltimore. Saints, they're just a different team outdoors. The Ravens defense is a unit and a half, man. Those guys can fucking ball out. As far as starting anyone, I think Traquan Smith is the number 2 in New Orleans. He's a deep ad in deeper leagues. He actually caught Drew Brees' record-setting pass, which everyone is very happy about. Seems like. I will take the Ravens though, -2.5. I just think they're gonna be able to shut down that offense, especially in Baltimore, and I will take the under at 50. Dallas at Washington. As we mentioned, Dallas is probably one of the best teams in the whole NFL. America's team, as we all know.
Mhm.
Not jinxing them or anything. It'd just be a real shame if they, lost out because they have such high potential.
Yeah, or if they play like the Giants.
Oh, you mean bad? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, this game. I mean, what is there to comment on? You think Cole Beasley has any real fantasy relevance?
No.
Yeah,
No,
I-
Cole Beasley's good for that 2 touchdown
A
game
wrap.
once a year,
Um,
which he already did last week, so he's done.
yeah. I mean, their receivers are just so shoddy. And then, is their defense good or not, or was that the Blake Bortles effect last week? You know?
I
I,
don't know.
I mean, they also have the Redskins have Adrian Peterson too, so that could be a different game because he's a freak. That guy is a freak. I will take the Cowboys and the over. Cowboys at plus 1.5, over 41.5. Rams go to the house that CJ Beathard built. Face the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are minus 9.5, over 52.
Ooh,
Smash
smash it.
it. I think it's going to be a smashable game. Yeah, I do like the Rams minus 9.5, and I do like that over. The only thing is, Cooper
Don't sleep
Kupp.
on CJ.
Oh, dude,
I like the over better than I like it.
him and George Kittle. They used to bang sorority chicks back in college. Maybe a couple frat guys. We don't know.
who did it?
I think you called
Kittle-
that a devil's triangle, right?
It's a drinking game.
No.
Everyone
I'm
knows
sorry,
this.
I'm sorry.
Same thing
You
as
know,
the Eiffel Tower.
quarters.
All drinking games.
Menage a trois.
Kittle is the 5th best tight end in the league. I did not know that.
Dude, his route running is fucking awesome. And then him and CJ, they just have
Better
that
than
connection.
The buses, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Goodwin making it known that he could do it without Jimmy G. Cooper Kupp has an MCL sprain, so he's out. So Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, should see more volume. Josh Reynolds will be the guy in 3 receiver sets. I'm gonna take Rams in the over though. I think we're all on the same page there.
Yeah.
And this game
Good
right
call,
here.
yeah.
This should be a fucking fun game to watch, man. Cincinnati at Kansas City. Chiefs are minus 6. Over under at 58. Oof. Check this out, though. There's a receiver in Cincinnati who's on pace for 99 catches, 1,200 yards, and 11 TDs. That's Tyler Boyd.
Ocho Cinco.
Close. TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Oh,
Wow.
Tyler Boyd. He's on pace for that. Almost 100 catches, 1,200 yards, and 11 TDs. I mean, that's better than AJ Green's numbers from last year. But AJ himself is on pace for 88 catches, 1,300 yards, and 13 TDs. So Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, Red Rocket, slinging that thing. Tyler Croft is out, so in a depleted, desolate, barren wasteland of tight ends, CJ Uzuma is the only tight end there, I do believe. And then Monday night game, a real barn burner against 2 juggernauts in the NFL, the Giants at the Falcons. Should be a
Can't
fucking
wait.
awesome game.
mm.
Falcons minus
It
5.5.
could be good.
No chance.
I'm taking
dude.
Giants.
No chance. Falcons minus 5.5 in Atlanta. Oh my God.
Doesn't matter.
They don't have Matt
Can I
Ryan.
admit to you
they don't have
guys-
Devonta Freeman.
I
Their
admit to you guys a
kicker
very
is
funny,
Giorgio.
stupid thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I heard what you said, Kev, but I, however, heard you say they don't have Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I just let it
And I
go.
was like, well, if they don't have their quarterback, and
Mhm.
I had heard that like 3 separate times, but hadn't read it, and I was like, why are the Falcons supposed to win this game if they don't have their quarterback? So I'm a fucking idiot.
Mhm.
It's
Just wanted
it's
to-
spoken into existence. He's gonna miss the game.
So there it is.
Wait, what are you talking about? He's not going to miss the game?
Nope. No, he will be there on time. I do believe.
No, they ruled him out.
No, the
Matt
game.
Bryant, right? The kicker.
No, Matt Ryan.
No, the
and
game's
Matt Bryan.
inside.
Matt Bryan is hurt as well.
I've heard no reports of that.
Maybe I'm
Yeah, I
wrong.
don't think that's correct. I think
You're-
that you
yeah, I
did
think
the same
you're
thing I
wrong.
did. Or perhaps I just got my info from you. Matt Ryan
Matt
is
Ryan.
playing.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's
Matt
the quarterback.
Bryant, the kicker, is not.
Yeah, he's the quarterback.
Well,
Yeah,
Kevin.
this is
Matt
a fantasy
Bryant
podcast.
is definitely not playing. That's for sure.
I still
Giorgio is
think
playing.
this is the week that the Giants get the dick out of their ass, and I know it makes no sense.
And then they put it in their
but-
mouth.
I just think that I don't know. The Giants are bad, but you have Odell Beckham and Saquon. They got to pull a win out at some point.
Yeah,
you know
but
what? I think they'd be good if they got Kaepernick. Imagine how athletic that offense would be.
that'd be cool. Or
My
if they got
God.
Derek Carr, that'd also be cool.
Sure.
All right, so what's more
Sure.
likely to happen? The Giants win this game, or Julio Jones catches a touchdown in this game?
Mm.
I'm going. I'm
Well,
going.
Julio's
catches a
not the
touchdown.
TD guy though.
Dude, he gets
He gets like double, triple covered in the red zone.
yeah, he gets
So-
no targets in the red zone.
They just pass it to they pass it to somebody else.
He's fourth in
Cooper.
I'm
targets.
glad they finally realized. All right, let's pass it to somebody else if they're gonna cover Julio.
I mean, it's crazy.
I don't think there's a shot the Giants win this game.
Dude, me neither. Just watching them play, there's just no chance.
I think Trufant can cover Beckham, no problem. And then you stack the box versus Barkley, even with a beat up Atlanta defense. I mean,
I believe Deion Jones is back, which is huge for their defense. That's their middle linebacker, all pro. He's the guy who holds it all together.
well,
That
all you
could
have
be
to
the
do
difference
is have a guy who
maker.
has 5 sacks like Tack McKinley, and
Yeah,
just say,
Tack is having
why
a
don't you
year.
just try and walk around one of these stupid Giants offensive linemen?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. Unless Eli can,
Hey,
dump it off to Saquon.
I'm sticking by it. Giants are gonna win.
All right, fine. So it is
Take out
noted.
of that
But
for
if
Ant.
Ant likes this as much as he likes Robert Woods, it's a
Yeah.
lock. So let that be known.
It is
Lock it
logged
up.
that Ant is on the Giants this week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean that's it. That's the news we got in fantasy. Hopefully, it opened your eyes to some things going forward, some injury news, and some money line and some bets. So, speaking of money and money lines and gambling, I sure wish I had $1.2 billion to gamble away, Rick.
Now is that the
Well-
Mega Mill and the Powerball?
No, man, Mega Million.
Let's talk about it. The
It's
Mega
just the
Million
Mega Million.
is. I had last seen it reported as of 2 hours from reporting this podcast, recording of the podcast. It was at 900 million. I think the 1.2
Yeah, that's
is
what I
they're
saw.
expecting by Friday, but still,
okay,
that's
okay.
neither here nor there. And the Powerball is up over close to 500 million. So there's some money out there as far as if you're willing to have $2 in a dream.
That's
Oh,
all.
Always
I
got that
figure
dream, baby.
I'll talk a little bit about that. Nobody won on Wednesday, obviously,
Oh,
and the single largest prize ever for the Mega Millions was 656 million. So we're gonna shatter that, and I'm not sure if a lot of people know this. The actual price of, I know you guys are aware, but just for the audience, you have a choice of taking a lump sum or get that payment paid out over 29 years. So most
Mhm.
people take the lump sum, and it's roughly half. So we're talking probably about $600 million is if you take
Right.
the early buyout. No small amount of change, but it's worth noting.
I think I saw it as 557 million. So
Sure, yeah.
Just
I'm
throwing that out
kind of
there.
projecting a little bit that
Mhm.
it'll hit 600 mil.
oh yeah, with the
As it
sense.
grows, yeah. We're still a day or
Mhm.
two away. So, in some states, you have to kind of have it's got to be reported on who the winner is. There are other states
Right.
that haven't. But recently there was a case in Connecticut that's kind of blowing the whole thing apart because in Connecticut, they ruled that a woman didn't have to disclose who she was. So
A woman
that's
doesn't.
kind of coming out there. This is not gender specific.
Oh, okay. Go on.
But she did identify as one at the time.
I was gonna say only.
So- Yeah. The odds of winning the jackpot though are 1 in 302 million. So,
So here's a question: if you have $302 million, do you or how many like chances or combinations
if
of
it was-
numbers?
I can explain that.
Are there?
If it's 1 in 302 million is the odds of winning, it's a $2 game, so you'd have to put up 604 million in order for you to guarantee yourself a winning shot at it.
Right.
If you did put up the 604 million, there's a huge risk associated with that because if one other person wins, you have to split that jackpot.
Right.
That's the
True.
first scary part. If 10 people win, you got to split it 10 ways. And that's not talking these type of like office pools where, hey, the winner's got to split 10 ways. No, that's saying there is a possibility of multiple tickets being sold.
Right.
So that's just kind of out there. The average American spends $223 a year on lotto tickets. That's all
Jesus.
tickets, not just the Mega Millions.
That's the average?
That's the average.
Seems high.
Massachusetts residents spend $763 a year.
Wow, they also have the highest suicide rate, so.
Is that true?
Just so you know, our
Think
huge
so.
fan base out in North Dakota, those smart people out there, they only spend $44 a year. So,
Well, they
That's
already
Combined
One, right?
between 3 people out there. Interesting enough.
right. Yeah. Probably the whole same family just does it. You know, they just kind of rotate who's buying for the week. So that's good for them. But my question is, I'm going to kind of pose a question to you guys: is what would you do if you guys won?
Who wants to go
Well, I'd
first?
get rid of my parents' debt, definitely. Any mortgages for family. I have a brother. Obviously, my mortgage and everything. But I'd definitely get rid of debt for closest friends. There's no reason why I wouldn't knock out all my closest friends' mortgage, or at least their biggest piece of debt. Just throw everybody a few $100,000. I mean, at that point, if you have 10 best friends, you give them each $1 million, 10 million. You're walking away after tax with what, 240 million? That's a no-brainer to me. You still have 200 grand in the bank after you pay off everything you could imagine.
That's very generous. I think I'd choose to do something a little different. Despite the fact that I choose to talk about money on this podcast, I don't think it's everything. And I think not having people have goals might be scarier than not having any money. So I think what I would do is I would make anyone who wants some money to kind of come up with a business plan on what their passion is.
Yeah.
And I'd fully fund their business. I'd fully fund the venture, but I think I'd want them to quote unquote work for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. They'd have a salary that it's all paid for. But I think that there's something to having aspirations and dreams and goals that I wouldn't want to get lost, especially amongst friends and family.
So like
I've
Shark
thought
Tank,
about
kinda.
that too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Sort of
gonna
a
say.
Shark Tank. I mean, yeah, you'd have to pitch me an idea, but
Mhm.
I don't think I'd. It'd be hard for me to say, man, that's the worst idea I ever heard. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
come up
No.
with some terrible ideas. So I think it'd be a little bit of a longer leash than Shark Tank, but yeah, a little bit of that of an idea.
Mhm.
Hmm.
How about you, Kev?
That's exactly what I would do, Rick. Actually, I've thought about that before, and if I were to get, like, I'd give all of you guys money, like Ant said, pay off your debt. But if it was a large lump sum, it would be, there had to be something behind it. Like, what do you want the money for? Like, tell me
Yeah.
why I should give it to you. But my other idea was to have us all together. So I would like to purchase, like, say, a cul-de-sac or something.
Yes.
Our own, each of us have our own houses on the cul-de-sac. So we all live close. Whenever we have
Love
a
that.
party, we'll just it's a cul-de-sac party, And I would also like
sack
for
party.
there to be underground tunnels connecting them, because I think that would be cool.
Oh, like the
You
Underground
say
Railroad.
you say whenever we have a party as if it would be every night if everyone's a millionaire. I
Yeah.
mean, shit, if but still.
Besides that, I'd probably want to travel some places, go around the world, see some things, uh, and make sure that I had my money invested in the right way so that I never went broke.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'd want to do. That's it.
How
You
about
know?
you,
Solid strategy. Never go broke. I like that.
Yeah.
I
So I'm sorry, one more second, just to expand on that. So
Sure.
you may not know the answer to this, but would you put it so you had specific stop gaps? Like you would set yourself like I can only spend 3 million
Mm.
this year?
Oh yeah, definitely budget it out, for sure. I
So
think
you'd have like one of those accountants that you'd be like punching them in the face trying to get more money if you
I
fell off
think
the
what
rails?
I'd say what I is more likely is I'd say like, all right, here is so if I want 600 mil, all right, I'm gonna put 400 away for whatever it is, to invest,
Sure.
and the rest is going, 200 mil to play with,
So,
and
well, here's the thing. I mean, this is just maybe you not trusting yourself enough, which is just brutally honest. Would you
yeah,
then not take the lump sum? Would you prefer the payments over the 29 years?
no, I'd still take the lump sum because,
Okay, why?
well, I don't know how true this is, but if you take the lump sum, it's still like when you die, where's that money go? I mean, not the lump sum, the 29-month payment or whatever it is. Where's that
You
money
know it-
go?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer, but considering that you're under 30, I'd like to hope that you live that long to
Well,
get paid out.
you win. If I had $200 million to play with, there's a good chance I'm dying in 2 months just from cocaine in Vegas.
so that is a fantastic segue to this stuff that I found on lottery winners. Large jackpot winners face double-digit multiples of probability versus the general population to be the victim of homicide is number one. Something like 20 times it says. 20 times more likely to be part of a homicide.
Wow.
So I guess below that, but still over double-digit multiples, is drug overdose, bankruptcy, ironically enough, and
Mhm.
kidnapping. So
Hmm.
people see
Yeah.
you win money, they're
Makes
going to
sense.
take you for a ransom, right? And now you're
So, I mean, that goes back to the earlier point of letting these people not be known.
right.
Right.
That's what I was
I
going to
don't
say.
think they should be.
I would
Yeah,
be
me neither.
anonymous. I would much prefer to be anonymous. Like if I win,
Yeah.
Well,
I would
I
work.
know the reason for it. The reason why they specifically don't let certain places be anonymous is to try and create some sort of transparency, because there are
Right.
like lotto fraud winners.
Right. That makes
That's
sense.
the reason. Of course, just like all good things, there's got to be some evil still within it. So,
So now, if you do win the lottery and a big jackpot winner, you are a triple-digit multiple probability versus the general population rate of convicted of drunk driving. So triple-digit multiple. So 100 times more likely to be convicted of drunk driving.
Wow.
The-
Well,
that's insane because
I feel like a
especially say
lot
with
of
Uber and
people.
Yeah.
I feel
Our
like a
driver?
lot of people. Well,
right.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I guess they just get that confidence, like they can't be
Untouchable.
fucking touched,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, that goes to number 2 in this list of triple-digit multiples. The victim of a homicide. The victim. You're 120 times more likely in this case than
Ugh.
a defendant in a civil lawsuit. So you could be, someone comes out of the woodwork and claims you raped him at a high school party playing a game of Devil's Triangle. Shit like that's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Boom, that quarter just hits you the wrong way.
And then this list goes on. It explains some stories about people like Billy Bob Harrell Jr. He won $31 million in 1997, committed suicide because of the multiple requests for money from friends and family. He's quoted as saying, "Winning the lottery is the worst thing that ever happened to me." So
Yeah.
that goes back to Rick's point of
Well-
money isn't everything.
Yeah,
That's the one thing
to
that's
that
kind of
point-
scary to me is I would try
Yeah.
very hard to keep my millions from everyone. Like I don't think I'd
Yeah.
want any of you guys to know.
Yeah, just they just
And
walk
maybe
in
that's
and be like, "Oh, I'll
super
cover dinner
selfish, but-
tonight." No, I don't think it's selfish. I think it's
I
you have a
think
point.
I'd let you guys know. That's because I feel like I trust you guys.
Yeah,
But
I
as
wouldn't
far as
tell
like
everybody.
family is concerned, I'd say to my mom, obviously you
hmm
will want for nothing, but here's $10 million. Get your family what they need, do whatever you want to do. My dad said the same thing. And then for my brother and sister, I'd say I'd pay off their house, their debt, whatever they have, and just make sure they keep I don't want it to be like nobody ever works again type deal. Like you still gotta live
Yeah.
your life.
See,
If you're
that's my
not working, you're
issue.
not doing anything, then you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah,
Like they got kids, they gotta make sure that the kids stay focused. Just because all this money is in our family doesn't mean that they are always gonna have it.
yeah. I think that it
Well,
would be
that's
better
the one
to
issue.
like.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was
No,
just
sorry.
gonna say like it's even when I say like, oh, I want to give, I want to pay all my friends' debt off as far as like their big bill, their mortgage. I wouldn't want to hand them a check for 300 grand and say, hey, pay your mortgage off, because let's be honest, not everybody's gonna do that. I would want to say, hey, what's your mortgage company or whatever, like I'm gonna pay it off, so you don't actually see money. It's just you don't have a mortgage payment anymore. I don't know if that's the right answer, but it eliminates the here's a
Well-
lump sum of cash, you do it now.
So Jackie Chan was reportedly, he said that he was giving all his money away to charity when he dies, and he was asked about his son, like what about his inheritance, and he said, my son will learn to make his own money, or he will end up losing all of mine. Right? If he doesn't know how to make
Yeah.
his own money, then he'll end up losing all of mine anyway. So I think that's a good point, You could give them all this money, but if they don't know how to
Yeah.
keep it
Handle it,
or earn it,
manage it.
they're gonna lose it and be back in the same position, if not a worse.
All right, so then let me go down this
Right.
list for a couple more reads. You got Evelyn Adams, who has a total winnings of $5.4 million. She won it twice, 85 and 86. As of 2001, she was poor and living in a trailer. Gave away pretty much all of her fortune. Susan Mullins, she won 4.2 million. As of 2004, no assets left. Shafiq Talmaj, it sounds like a made-up name, 6.7 million won in 88. 2005 declared bankruptcy. So you just live above your means, and then you can't pay for it anymore. The list goes on with these
Well, I
people.
think the problem is
This guy won 3
people just
million
don't
in '93,
understand how to.
and in 2006 he died in a shootout with police. So I feel like you just
Oh my God.
stacked against you, man.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a cross to bear.
I think that it's kind of like the type of people that end up playing and winning. Like, if you listen to all those numbers, they're not like this 600 million, right? 5 million, 3 million. Those are people that are playing on a consistent
Yeah.
basis, right? And if you think about what are the type of people that do that spend money on even small pots, they aren't probably the best financially to begin with.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
they're
most
probably-
educated.
Right, yeah, they're probably not very educated. So I think it's kind of skewed data, right?
What do they say?
It's not
going to
happen
the poor,
to-
right?
Everybody,
Yeah.
it's not something if you were smart enough to handle. like you're not gonna lose your mind. Like you're not
Right.
gonna go crazy. You might do some stupid stuff for a while, but as long as you could get it under control, and you know, I think people can handle being rich.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys would lose a friend or family member over collecting?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like
Probably.
people would
Yeah.
I
because
think I'd
even,
lose a few.
there's some people, even if you give them fucking $3 million, it's not gonna be enough in their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you
I don't
cut them
think
off
it's so
in
much
general.
as I don't think
Yeah.
it's so much as not be enough. It's just you become the bank because the second that
Yeah.
they find themselves in hard times, they
They're
know
gonna
that you
get
still got it.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I think that I'm lucky enough
And they
that
can-
my brother and sister are like they're financially set enough that it wouldn't be like that. Like they're not going to hit times where they're just completely broke. And
I don't
of
think
course,
so either. I don't
like, I
think,
think
so
that-
either. I'm just saying that, like, I think money does change people,
Yeah.
as much as we don't
Yeah.
want to believe it.
Sure.
You have to
Like, I don't
understand
think I think the same thing as
mindset-
you, but you know.
There's a mindset too that you can just have. Well, you didn't earn it either. You know,
Right. Right.
Right. Sure. Okay.
because you didn't. You've literally hit the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Yeah, and if you just say, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna get ready to wrap it up here. I don't know how you guys feel about that. We're right
Yeah,
around
that's
an
fine.
hour.
Okay.
And I mean,
Yeah.
by all
so-
means, we still got more to say.
Talking lottery could go on forever.
It is true. Do
Yeah.
you remember the
For sure.
camping trip when we were in Old Guard? That conversation went like 3 hours, man.
We talked
Oh
about
yeah,
the
I mean,
lottery.
none of us even got into the nitty gritty on how we would spend it. You know?
Yeah, we
It's
really
like,
didn't. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Rick?
You know what none of
Nice.
us said? You know what none of us said? Charity.
I was yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't want to give.
I
up
mean,
on the
I'd eventually
strippers.
get there. Like, but
Yeah,
we
no,
really
I
didn't
agree.
talk about it. Like,
What exactly?
Exactly.
we would do. Yeah.
we'd
But
be
I'd also
spending on-
rather be honest instead of saying, "Oh, I want world peace and world hunger to end."
Dude, this guy wants
Yeah,
world
everybody
hunger.
wants that,
Jesus.
but
I
I'm just
think
saying
I would,
that it's
I would finish
honest.
it with the Bill Gates way. The Bill Gates,
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, Jackie Chan way. Is I think
Give it-
when I die,
And
whatever's left, I'd give away. I
like
feel
it,
pretty
I
good
like
about
it.
saying that. I mean, maybe like a $5 million trust. I know that's a lot of money, but as like a catch-all for like all my kids and future kids' college would be paid for, but nothing to set them up like.
Right,
know,
right.
right.
Listen, $5 million over like 15 generations of kids. Like,
For school
I don't- yeah.
alone, yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah.
far that really goes.
Mhm.
You know,
Right, right.
I think it would also be cool to just like a quick side note. Like, I would love to just tip insanely.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
just
dude.
go. You don't change your lifestyle, but just like, oh, we went to the bar tonight. Like, yeah, I just threw the waitress $2,500 on a $100 bill. Like, just
Yeah.
make her
Seinfeld
fucking
logic.
day.
seeing those people cry.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is awesome to do that.
Mhm.
You're everyday people, you know.
well, do you guys remember
But-
when who's that? Jay-Z spent like $77,000 at the club one night, and he posted it on Instagram and Twitter and all that.
Nah.
I think it was
don't
more
know.
than
I don't remember.
77,000. He bought like 6 bottles of Cristal and
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For some reason, he didn't post it. The waitress did, because
Mm-hmm.
she got left like a $28,000 tip.
Oh yeah.
Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
get
it's
that,
sick.
like, oh, he spent that much. Like, man, you bought 10 bottles at the club. How much friggin' champagne did you actually drink? You know?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
there just to say you did it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But
That
someone
is-
still got 28K or whatever that was.
Mhm.
That's a fucking
Right.
massive tip.
That
Yeah.
is.
I think that's
I,
cool.
I would love to do that, especially around Christmas time, man.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
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 Uh huh.
Be sick.
All right.
Well, that's I was just gonna say, I would just also make sure all my nieces and nephews went to like college. You know, made sure that was all paid for.
Right,
And-
right. That's along what lines of what Rick was saying. Make sure your future generations
Yeah.
don't have enough to just live off of, but have enough to jumpstart their own future. You know,
Right.
Mhm.
it's like
right.
the Jackie
Something
Chan
for them
thing you
to build
said.
off of.
Right, right. It's not the
Yep.
not the $1 million loan or whatever. It's to get you through.
Teach them to
the next
fish,
level.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with money. Teach them to fish with money.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a
Hook,
bait.
line, and sinker.
All right.
All
You
right.
guys have anything else to add to
All right,
that?
guys, have a
I
good
feel like
week.
that was a
That's it.
success. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh well. See you
Yeah.
later. Good
Well,
night.
Yeah,
Cut it
Let's
off.
so
just
long.
edit that out. And,
Farewell
good night,
to
everybody.
you, my friends.
Excuse me.